Welcome, everyone. This is Trojan coming at you again with another GBLAN Online Tecmo Super Bowl tournament video. This is group play from Ptitteri and Simple Simon. Ptitteri is the host and called the matchup Dallas, Minnesota. So, Cowboys will be kicking off first here. Again, this is another matchup that I don't think I've seen called in any recent memory. It's certainly not an unwinnable game, but I think there's a superior defense for the Vikings in this matchup, and offensively, minus the quarterback, which is only marginally worse, you have a much better group of receivers with the Cowboys. So we'll see how this works out, though. Lockhart is able to go through on that playbook. Like Walker, pro set. Again, anytime you're doing a pro set sweep, if you are coming against a team with strong inside linebackers, certainly a liability to be calling that play. You can get taken down, and if you don't have the taps to break out of that situation, it is not good typically for the offensive player. So Wilson attempting to go deep. Does not hit the target, and throws it up to Hassan Jones, and Hassan Jones is covered, and opportunity with his reception stat at 63, but is unable to haul it in. So we have a 3 and out here for Simple Simon, and we'll see if Terry can move the ball here with the Cowboys. And normally you'll see the Cowboys paired up with teams like the New York Jets. I've seen the New Orleans Saints there. Pittsburgh Steelers also a common matchup. I've seen them against the Falcons and even Tampa Bay. That's real common. And there are other matchups, but I don't think I've ever seen Vikings called in this. But we have a new generation here coming into the online Tecmo scene. And it's nice to, sometimes it's refreshing to see different matchups than the typical ones that are seen in high-level play. And we've got Ptittieri driving the ball down the field, and it has the JJ to Michael Irvin. So Michael Irvin coming through there. And it looks like Simple Simon is sticking with Browner. Everything by the book is being done here correctly as far as the defender selection. And Aikman just settles for a 7-yard gain up top. Offset eye, Browner the defender. Looks like we have a called run 1. And the way that it unfolded there, Smith is still able to get a very nice gain there. Defeats the blitz. And this time Browner just naturally is in a superior position to be in position to take out that play. Really only David Fulcher, maybe Waymer might be better in that situation. But no matter, Jay Novacek is open, and we have first blood drawn by Ptitteri and the Dallas Cowboys. Touchdown Troy Aikman. Recently called a game where Ptitteri played a close game with the number 1 seed, Lucky Tool, or Tooley, depending on who you ask. And was able to move the ball at times there, and actually had a chance to put himself in a winning situation and battled some clock management. And I think he'll learn from that experience here and hopefully bring that to the table. Run 1 is called. Walker now also defeating the blitz, turning nothing into something there. 2 yards on first down. 2nd down and 8. And the call is pass 1, and here's a situation that typically you like to go down all the way to the wide receiver 2 on that route. It's usually the one that's the most open. And he goes cross field and overthrows Hassan Jones. The ball ends up getting intercepted. That is one strength of Dallas, is their secondary. They are very decent. And a good run there. Emmett Smith is being effective. You also see Highsmith is in good. Unfortunately, the running play that's chosen for him is not particularly effective against someone who's going to be calling Browner most of the game. And unfortunately, that is the... there's only one other play there with Smith, run 3, that runs up in that direction. But again, against Browner, it's running away from him, not at him, and it's not particularly effective. We see here, we've seen Smith be more effective on run 1 and run 4, which have some blocking in front of him. And a nice run there, Smith out in the clear. Taking too long to straighten his approach there. If you run straight there near the hash marks, I think he has a touchdown, but continues to run at an angle, and then Browner has the time to catch up. That's something that newer players don't realize sometimes, is that just the amount of time you waste every time you change direction. You want to get on point and minimal movements to prevent yourself from slowing down. And the first mistake of the game by Ptittieri throws the ball into a tight window, ends up getting intercepted. So opportunity to go up 2 scores there is squandered. And again, being conservative on the goal line when you have a lead is generally the wiser course of action. If you don't have a sure thing against Browner and other defenders, Lee is also another good defender on the back end for the Vikings. You gotta take care of them. Hendricks and Walker meeting up, and not much doing there on second down. Brings up 3rd and 2. We have a pro set formation, and Lockhart is in and gets occupied by a blocker. Fenny doing some work there. The nice gain there on run 4. Really used play in the community, but it gets the job done in that situation. And this time, attempting to go to Carter, which was probably the right read in that situation. Unfortunately, just couldn't quite get it in front of him enough to prevent that tip. No, pass 1 is called. He does throw it to the outlet, but it ends up going for a loss. And in this situation, throwing it up near the end zone on 3rd down is always wise, because if it's intercepted, it's like a punt, which is what you'd be doing the next play if you don't convert on the 1st down. So great completion there to Hassan Jones. I think 3rd time's the charm there. 1st and goal from the 2. Some clock has been wound, and we'll see how he approaches this attack. See if he can tie it up before half. Simple Simon calls the run 4, which is the most direct path to the end zone, if you're thinking in that regard. Pass 4 here, so he's going to see if he can get... And again, just that's not the right read on that play. What you want to do is run the quarterback to either side, and then when the defender comes up on you, you throw it to the stationary target, hopefully with a clear lane. In that situation, I know he was rushing in, but never should have come off the main receiver in the rotation. That's the one really only read that you care about in that situation. And unbelievable, it looks like he has an opportunity to get in the end zone, and ends up stumbling in his own blocker, and is just on the doorstep. He needs a yard or less than a yard. He goes for the field goal instead to get some points on the board. Barely bangs that field goal in. He rushed the arrow there. As close as he was, it's still possible to miss that. So, Simple Simon does get on the board here. Ptittieri is going to be pretty happy with himself, except for the points he left on the board, but he did stop that touchdown. And halftime show. So, what are your thoughts on what's happened so far? Let us know in the comments. If you're interested in online Tecmo, we'd love to hear from you. If you want to be a part of all of the fun that's happening, this tournament features currently 36 participants across many different states in the United States. And we're all playing online, and we have a Discord channel and many different skills. We have beginner, we have top tier guys that have won nationwide tournaments, and we have something in between. So there's a player online here to challenge you. There's also opportunities to play in multiple leagues where there's actually players drafted, positions drafted, and even leagues where they play with teams from another era. The sky's the limit when it comes to Tecmo and how deep the game goes. One nice thing about this is you can see this is a hacked ROM. It does correct some of the player 2 issues. And when players enter a grapple, you'll see that there's a counter that counts how many times they've pressed during that grapple. So lots of neat things happening in the online Tecmo community. All right, moving on. We have an incomplete pass on first down. Return was very minimal, only out to about the 7-yard line. And run 1 is called. And he actually gets a positive bit of yards there, despite the called play. Emmitt Smith looking pretty fast right now. And if he lets that ball go, that might be completed to Michael Irvin, but decides to hang on to it there and gets tackled from behind. So Ptittieri, not the greatest start to the second half here, goes 3 and out. And Simple Simon with the return out near the 22. So 1st and 10 from the 22. Jones, the defender here, runs down in that direction, and it's a gain of about 10 or 11 here on first down. So a little bit of running game working for Simple Simon. Goes with pass 1 this time. Looks like pass may have been called, although there are a couple guys open. Carter down the field, and this time he's got finally that trajectory works. The completion is made. Very dangerous to that receiver. Anthony Carter, the biggest weapon on the Vikings, gets deep, and now we're in that tough to score territory. Not a lot of room for your receivers to maneuver. Good decisions need to be made here. Settling for 3 is not going to get it done. And he throws to where there's a covered guy, so again, that's a kind of a questionable decision. You would leave 3 points on the table there if that gets picked. So always better to take a sack in those situations. And here I think 3 is still the right way to go. If he gets another field goal opportunity, he wins. If he holds them on another drive here, as much as you want to go ahead and take that away, it forces the hand of the other player to continue to try to be aggressive and score, which can open up for mistakes. So if this is the 4th quarter, it's a different story, but there's still time. And right now, field goal wins the game. So right now, it looks like Ptittieri is playing conservative, probably doing a little small ball here. He gets out of bounds right away, taking no chances. Basic run up the middle, and let's see if he goes out of bounds or tries to get fancy. Nope, he's smart. About the 40-yard line, steps out of bounds, and takes a real basic play and does some good work with it. Back to the run 4. Working very well, and he needs to get near the sideline, and he does. One more juke there, he may have been able to run the clock out before the man defender got there. That'll be something, a sort of situational awareness that may want to consider in the future. The reason for that is when you score, if he scores, that next play, you keep running that time off. But if he scored on that, if you want to run as much time off with every time you're touching it. And when you're kicking the ball off, there's a huge runoff of time. And you want to make sure that when that happens as well, that if you get to that point. Really a really dangerous throw there. and really no reason for it. He wasn't open. Defenders right there, high interception rating, and I would hope, given the past experience of what happened last time, that he'd take better care of the ball here. Some will say a field goal doesn't help you. It absolutely does. Of course, as a touchdown throw to win the game. So, which also kind of closes down the playbook. So, 7-6. Some money down here, and fourth down's coming up. And there's really only one decision here: kick the field goal and play some defense. And this is why you kick the field goal on the other end, because this can happen. And I don't know what took the field goal so long there, if there was maybe a problem there. It really shouldn't have taken 2 cycles to make that field goal attempt happen. Very lucky that Merriweather didn't dive tackle the holder. Carter is returning the 44 running speed. Herschel Walker is also another option you can put back there with his hitting power. And we have a run 3. So in this situation, most likely you're going to have to go for a touchdown. Being a player 2, being able to get the ball back with an onside kick is not really likely to happen. Both players seem to have some challenges punching the ball in once they get inside the red zone. And Hassan Jones with the catch, running some clock, and the touchdown. So a huge completion. That's the second one to Hassan Jones today. Wade Wilson putting it right where it needs to be. And that's that lovely risk-reward relationship that Whiskey Wade Wilson and his receivers have. Only issue with that now, we've got a 3-point lead here for Simple Simon. Ptittieri has had the ability to move the ball before, and I bet he really wishes he had that 3 points instead of throwing that interception earlier. Because he's in the driver's seat now. He's got to get on the board. Now, set off with 3 is, put it to overtime. You don't want to do anything that endangers that. So going deep at this point is probably a very risky proposition. Going to Novacek was the right person if you're going to take that risk. But on first down with this much time, you just need to get a couple first downs and you're in field goal range. And going back out of the line of sight here is very dangerous. If Browner is playing possum, you could have yourself an interception because it's going to take too long for that ball to get there. So recommending not as deep a drops on your passes. This time he goes to the run, and the strategy here is you hope that the opposing player is picking pass in this situation to try to defend the deep ball, and you're hoping that maybe you can break one away and try to get a 40 or 50 yard gain if you got taps advantage. And again, that was a kind of a forced throw there. There was time for another play if he throws it underneath and you have a more advantageous situation. Maybe even time for a pass for a field goal. But Browner cleans it up, gets the pick on the overthrow. And the Vikings are victorious with Simple Simon at the helm. Ptittieri played it well with it, in the community's eyes, would be a little bit of a mismatch as far as the teams are concerned, but had some success moving it, but critical turnover was the deciding factor. So congratulations to Simple Simon on the game here. If you have any comments on this game and what you saw today, please leave them in the comments section. If you liked it, give us a thumbs up. If you didn't like it, give us a thumbs down. And subscribe to the channel if you want to see more online Tecmo Super Bowl content. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you next time on GBLAN Tecmo.